They said, is it going to be a V-shaped recovery? Very rapidly down, very rapidly up. Is it going to be a W-shaped recovery? Yep. Down, up, down again, double dip recession. Is it going to be U-shaped? Boom, low on the ground, then slowly back up.
What do you think?
I finally saw someone said, no, it's going to be an L-shaped recovery. Down, not coming back. Now, I believe that. I believe that. I mean, I believe we're going through some fundamental changes. The American consumer is so deeply in debt and still deeply in debt. The economists called this for a long time ago. The economists have called a lot of these things. They just can't get the timing right, so I can't invest based on their articles. But the problem is the American consumer is so deeply in debt. This is not going to come back, certainly for 5 years. The consumer has got to, and you've seen for the first time, the American consumer have a saving rate of over 5%. And the American consumer just has to save, not spend, to pay off some of this debt. And that means, and our economy is 70% consumer in the US. That's not true around the rest of the world, but in the United States, that's true. That's right. So the United States is not going to be the engine for growth around the world. So the economy as we know it, and we're also going to go to a much higher tax regime. I think the administration is very focused right now on the issue of fairness and universal health care coverage, which I don't know anyone who's against universal health care coverage, but it's going to be very expensive.
So speaking of that, Obama, your take?
I voted for President Obama, and I'll kind of confess to that right now. And I think I am surprised at how much spending. I'm surprised that there are so many huge spending programs we're facing. We're facing a huge, obviously the stimulus package, which we can debate whether it's worked or not, but that was $800 billion, a bill for healthcare, another $1 trillion. Cap and trade, if we do it, is another $1 billion. And if we do cap and trade, we have to have tariffs. I think we're going to have tariffs on imported goods, because you can't suddenly say that energy is going to be very expensive in the United States, which will force manufacturing overseas, and without then having tariffs on things coming back into the United States from countries like India and China, who've said very clearly they have no interest in monitoring their CO2 output until they have the same per capita CO2 output as the United States, which means China would be able to increase their CO2 output. China's already the leading producer of CO2 on the planet Earth, not the United States. They'd be able to increase that by a factor of 4. So before they would put any on any CO2 caps. So there are a lot of things going on right now that make me believe that the economy is, we're not going to have a rapid recovery from this.